Okay, guys, we are live, and I've got a legend with me, Ivan, at Ivan Jennings on Twitter. Is in the house. Keith might pop in. Jack might pop in, but we don't know. But if not, we will just carry the Anfield Express down the track and enjoy the ride. Ivan, how are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm actually, I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon at the moment. I can't get any fucking better. I mean, it's dreamland at the moment. It really is. It's absolutely dreamland. Before we go forward, guys, we're going to just have a lovely little chat about the Villarreal Liverpool. We're going to regurgitate some of that the other night, going a little bit deep about it. We'll talk about the new kit. We'll talk about Salah wanting revenge, Real Madrid, the collapse of Pep last night at Man City, which is ridiculous. And we'll have a quick look forward to the Spurs game, of course, on Saturday. Hit the like, hit the share. You know what to do, guys. Join us on the Anfield Express. Carl is in the house from Domestic Butler. How are you, Carl? Hopefully you're well, my friend. Okay, so Ivan, Villarreal, the Yellow Submarine, it was lashing. I think there was a slight doubt the game might have went ahead. It was so heavy rain. I think they were looking for submarines to get in and out of the fucking ground. It was so heavy, the rain. So we started so fucking poorly in that game. I was worried at halftime. I don't know about you. It's just our demeanour. We needed to get in at halftime. I was hoping we'd win, say, 1-0, but then the second goal just before halftime. What were your thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, like brutal, absolutely brutal. And again, like I, in fairness, opposite to you, I wasn't worried going into all at halftime because Klopp's going to sort it out. What worried me was, the build-up. The pitch was small. It reminded me of the quarters against Real Madrid when we played in their second stadium. It just looked small, like really, like the wrong size, and the tight crowd, and they were all up. Talca Park job, and then it reminded me of an under-16s game where you might have a team who play really, really well, and then they just forget how to play football for a week. Like, no, the ball wasn't sticking. It was bouncing off players. Even the likes of Thiago, who was so composed on the ball, couldn't get it on. We couldn't get anything in midfield. The lads at the back were looking dodgy. It was a shit show from minute 0 to minute 45. And, to concede so early, it was like, oh, for fuck's sake, lads, not tonight, please. But then to turn it around and, your man Diaz, incredible. To bring him off the bench and turn it around. And I think there was just a general kind of step up in lads, come on, seriously. And I think to see them at the end, not only to be happy to win, but to be so delighted, they seemed genuinely delighted to be going to a final. There was a sense of achievement there. And Rio Ferdinand made a comment that he said he used to love winning semi-finals because it meant it was kind of out of your hands. So you've done everything that you could in that competition.
Yeah.
You've gotten to the final. And now it's in the kind of hands of the gods in the final. But you've a massive achievement, and they all kind of, that's the vibe I got from them. And even the interviews afterwards, Van Dijk and Salah, all along that, job well done. Scratch that first half. In when you compare it against the other three halves of football in that semi-final, it was a poor half. Everything else was pretty perfect. And into the final.
I don't know if you've seen the interviews at the end, as you just said. There seems to be a confidence running through the players' veins. Do you know, unlike I've seen in the last few years, maybe because of the fact we've already won a league, we've won a League Cup, we've won a Champions League already.
Yeah.
So we're not virgins.
Oh, I think it comes from it. Yeah, like
when
you hear them talking, and this is where we struggled, and that's why that first Premiership win and the Champions League win was so important. Like when you hear the commentator say it, like, this team has done it before. They know what to do with 5 games to go. They know what to do when they're 1-up with 20 minutes to go in a final. So it's all experience, and I think confidence in their play. And I think when we were talking a couple of weeks ago, we haven't been superb all season. We've had periods of games where we've been under pressure and we haven't played well. Benfica, Arsenal, the other night, and we've come through it. We've gritted our teeth and we've taken it. The Man City first 20 minutes against Man City in that last league game, where they battered us and we were out on our feet. We've come through those periods and we've shown resilience, and it's an incredible characteristic to have.
Mentality monsters, baby. That's
mentality
exactly.
Monsters.
Jack Mack in the house. Jackie boy, we're just going to regurgitate the Villarreal Liverpool the other night. I think you were live for the game. Were you worried at halftime?
No, thank God I wasn't live stream, boys. I think I would have been banned off YouTube. Like all of us, that was as Ivan's hit the nail on the head. It was not the best, but it's you're gonna get that, aren't you? And that what we love the most probably is Jürgen. I think we spoke about it last week, didn't we, boys, on your channel, Dave? Like obviously Jürgen, he goes into the changing room, but he doesn't say a lot. He doesn't need to. The players deal upon themselves. They know it was an absolute shambles first half. It was just the little things that we weren't doing. We just, don't get me wrong, Villarreal played very well. They forced us into alleys and corridors we didn't really like to play in, but it's really positive, even better, the 24 hours that did follow. We'll see a bit about it anyway.
I'll have to make up a new song about the number 7, let's talk about 7, baby. Some sort of new song. But look, we did the job in the end. Obviously, Diaz was the catalyst for me coming on at half time. But for me, do you know what? That was a personification of Diaz, Luis Diaz, for me, because we signed him halfway through the season. So we basically brought him on at half time in the season, and he just brought the team to a new level. So for me, him coming on at half time was just a complete personification and justification of this Liverpool team and just moving us to absolutely ridiculous levels. I mean, if we do the quadruple now, we're obviously, it's going to be hard to do still, but if we do it, where do you go? I mean, what do you do? Do you retire? I don't know what the fuck you do next year, because it can't get any better than that. It can't.
Well, we can win the Super Cup. Well, we'll try and win that. Win the Community Shield as well. What was it? Make it 7 trophies in space. Yeah, we'll win Everton. It'll be like 7-6 trophies. What would you back-to-back quads? That sounds, isn't it?
Absolutely. You do it again. You go again. And I think, like, it's crazy that we're even talking about it, but if this team wins the Champions League and retains it next year, or wins the Premiership and retains it next year, like, you're talking absolute greatness there. Like, dominating Europe or dominating the Premiership. And that, to me, is when you talk about, Aston Villa and the Liverpool team of the 70s and Nottingham Forest winning the Champions League on the bounce, winning it and retaining it. That's some statement. That proves that you know what you're doing. And I also think 6 semi-finals in 6 years, 3 finals in 6 years. That's incredible. How do you can't even talk about that.
And look, never mind the money that it brings. The money's ridiculous for the Champions League. I mean, that's where you get the money. It's the television rights and everything else. The brand goes through the bleeding roof.
The brand,
we have a sponsorship deal next year coming in, looking for 70 to 80 million a year, where it was 40, and even that was quite high at the time. So I mean, the brand. We don't like talking about the business side, but just real quickly, the brand of Liverpool has gone up in levels. And that can only help the team, obviously. The new ground being done, the new stadium, the new training facility at Kirby is ridiculous, apparently. So, I mean, everything has moved forward since Klopp has stepped his foot in that door in October 2015. We've just moved up levels from staying in a B&B with no breakfast to a 5-star, baby.
I think players as well, Dave, when you're looking at how true it is, this fella Chimani, or however his name is pronounced. If you've got players coming through in, the Spanish league or the French league or the German league, and they're looking for their move to the Premiership, they're going to have to look at Liverpool. If Klopp is considering you have to go. Now I know, and this is where we're in a really lucky place where we don't pay the same wages at the start. You come to Liverpool if you're chosen, and you start off on 60, 70 grand a week. You're coming into a team who's going to be challenging on all fronts. And in a year's time, you'll get your 200 grand. You might have a medal in your back pocket as well, and you could go on to be an absolute legend. So all the cards are in the club's favour. The commercial side, you can't overstate that in 2022. It's massive.
But right, so guys, we're in the final. We were in the final first. We got there. Actually, in the end, comfortable. Although it wasn't comfortable for probably a little while, probably 15, 20 minutes.
15 minutes, 20 minutes.
15, 20 when you add it. I think it wasn't comfortable once that second goal went in, and then we broke out. Although the keeper gave us a little hand, I still think we would have done. We would have went through either way, even if they would have had a decent keeper, because our control in the second half and tempo just went up levels. It was only a matter of time.
But I think Dave's another good point. Like they've knocked out United, Juventus, and Bayern Munich. So they're not a bad team.
No, we know they're not a bad team. No,
they're not a bad team.
I was worried about them. We didn't have a supreme record against them. They beat us. Unai Emery himself beat Klopp. Remember the Sofia game in the Europa League a few years ago in 2016, I think it was. I'll always remember that game, sitting in the bar. I just had a pint in my hand. I went, fucking hell, get me another 10 of these because this is just shit.
And it was,
but anyway,
it was very similar, wasn't it?
Levels.
It was
We're in the elite
kind of
level
game.
now, boys.
Yeah.
We're in the elite level, top of the table, up there. Like, I mean, you have to say City are up there as well, obviously, but we're going to talk about them slipping last night. I mean, what? Grealish had a great chance to make it too.
2 great chances.
I look, I still thought they had it, to be fair. I think it was 120-1 at one stage with 3 or 4 minutes to go, just before Madrid got the equaliser. And when Madrid got that Rodrigo equaliser, I could just see them fucking draining. I mean, Pep's eyebrows nearly fell out.
Like I literally jumped up when they got the first one. I was sat there watching with my dad, and I'm pretty sure everyone as well was the same. Me and him were crying when that first one flew in because you could see we're not sports people at all, are we? But you knew instantly it was just the stupid things. Like, you've just conceded. Yeah, I know you've not got Kevin De Bruyne, and we'll speak about Pep because Christ Almighty, is substitution, but keep it in the corner. That it's like that's where a Milner or a Henderson for our team, a Van Dijk, or just someone with a bit of knowledge in the brain to go, right, slow down, conceded. Yes, you can talk about Madrid having 1 or 2 extra players in the box, but even when they have got possession, they had a kick off and then just give the ball straight back. You don't like they've been here like the last 5 years, 6 years in Europe, and they've been making the same mistake. I don't want to be hearing from anyone in world football outside of Liverpool trying to compare Pep with Klopp.
It's different level. Listen, he is a top manager. There's no doubt about it. He is a top manager. He was a good player. He's a good player as well, actually.
He's got massive flaws in his game.
Yeah. Genie 20 is Mo Salah's agent, is he? Maybe too many emojis. But look, we don't really care what City do or don't do, to be fair. We have Real Madrid on the 28th of May in Paris. It rolls off your tongue like a historical poem, doesn't it? Liverpool against Real Madrid in Paris.
Heads. It's the connotations that win or loss does have, mate, though. Psychologically, those players will be absolutely fuming. It will make, especially if we go on to win our 7th European Cup, all of our players putting on social media, they'll be fuming. They'll be absolutely despising it. Yeah, well, the City players, they reacted heavily. That Kyle Walker video has been doing the rounds, hasn't it, on social media today. Oh, it was some about 6 months ago, mate. Trent tweeted something on the Champions League, and Kyle Walker comes out with a silver Champions League medal. We'll change this into a gold medal this year. No, you won't, Kyle. Good luck next year as well. You'll probably get knocked out by Monaco.
The Real Madrid with the shorts at the end saying number 14. Did you see that?
I think that's just confidence. I think that's confidence. You know, that's that club, their priority every year, and regardless of whether
the priority is Champions League. There's no doubt about it.
So they go in there, they expect to be winning the Champions League. It's an incredible mindset to have. But I just on Guardiola, I was reading an article today. He's been bumped out of the Champions League in the same type of scenario every time. There's been 5 or 6 minutes of absolute madness where they haven't held on to the ball. They haven't done, as Jack has said, they're going into the corners and slow it down. Like, there was balls coming in last night, and your man, I can't think of the lad's name from the Ukraine, plays left full. Zinchenko, who I think is a really good footballer. But he's going up for headers kind of in between the lines and heading it straight back to the Madrid players. And they're just recycling. Instead of letting it go over his head or let it run out or play it back to the keeper, just stupid stuff. So they've been found out, and they're going into training today or tomorrow. Their priority was the Champions League again, and they failed. And you could see Foden talking after the game; he was nearly in tears.
I'd say he was in tears.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's brilliant. So I think, Sunday now against Newcastle is massive for them.
We're going to talk about Spurs because we have Spurs Saturday night at Anfield. That's a big game for us. But before we get on to the Premier League, I have another pointer on Real Madrid. Obviously, we played them in 3 weeks Saturday. But I think they won the league this weekend, actually.
They did. Yeah.
I think for Liverpool, we're going hell for leather basically till the last weekend. Let's say, hopefully we will be, because it'll mean we're still in with a shout for the league. Right up to that Wolves game on the Sunday. The following Saturday we play Champions League final. Now you can look at this two ways. We're going for hell for leather the whole way up. We'll be ready to roll, primed. Whereas Madrid will ease off now for the next 2 or 3 weeks because they've already won the bleeding league. Yeah. Now, that can work for you and against you. That's the question I would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sorry, Jack, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's the levels. Surely we played football in the park as a kid. It's when Liverpool are playing such a high psychological level or like physical level as well, where for like the next couple of weeks, hopefully we go into that game and we have moments, don't we? We spoke about it so many times this year where we could have like a mad 20, 30 minutes spell where we just blow them away and then possibly make. But as you said there, David, it's an interesting point that they themselves probably haven't got that mindset because they're experienced winners of the Champions League. But sometimes that does.
No, but I'm on about the rhythm, Jack.
Yeah, no, the rhythm, yeah.
The rhythm, like, you know what I mean? You're winning, you have to win this game. You have to win this game. You have a 3-week fucking break where you don't have to win the fucking game. And then all of a sudden you have to turn it back on to win the game. I just think that might come into effect.
They've been beat by bloody Eibar this season. If they can beat Real Madrid, we can.
Another point. Here's another little golden nugget of points. All Madrid's big comebacks have been at the Bernabeu. They're not in the fucking Bernabeu against us, baby. They're in Paris.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think the mindset for us is if we win the league against Wolves, Jesus Christ, like we will be literally running into that game, you know. But then I also think Klopp will manage them to say, like, I'm sure he's positioning it with them that at the moment,
if you don't win the league, you win the fucking Champions League. That'd be the other one, wouldn't it?
Like if we finish second in the league, I don't think Klopp will be playing that up as a massive achievement to pull back 14 points. To bring it to the last game of the season, there won't be a disappointment. There'll be a slight disappointment there, but it won't be doom and gloom, right?
Not because we're chasing them all the time. It'd be different if you're ahead and you let it slip in the last few games. Like it'd be a big disappointment for City if they won nothing this season.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
I also think you're right that like the fact that we have to play at 100 miles an hour now, right the way up to the 22nd,
might actually help us.
I think it will help us. I definitely think it will help us.
But I don't know whether you've seen, I'm sure Jack's seen the new Liverpool jersey release, a red jersey today. What were your thoughts on it?
Very plain. I think we could design that. And the charging what, 70 or 100 quid? Christ,
yeah.
It's
There's a lot of intricate design going through it though, wasn't there? The 97 on the back.
Yeah. I think the designers this year didn't want to miss too much because I think they were quite criticised on the last one last year. Even though it's really nice, we all wear it, don't we? But they went very
I like the retro, baby. Look at this 80s style crown paint.
I'm all for the retro.
Yeah. 100%.
Hopefully we crown the Reds, baby. But you know what? I see there's a good point there from North Red. If Mo Salah finds his scoring boots from here on in, it'd be a great show. I think if Mo finds his boots for the last 4 games, 2 cup finals, 4 league games, starts getting into the rhythm, that just gives us an extra bleeding incentive to go and win.
I think Salah is just the way I've seen Salah over the last couple of years is Diaz has got a real bonus now that he's unknown and he's completely unpredictable, right? And he's scaring people. Salah was the same when he came in. And I think Salah is quite predictable now. It's just that you know what he's going to do and he's just going to beat you. I think he's just losing. He's lost about 5% of that just bit of magic that he had. He still does the same things every week. He always tries to come inside. He'll try and beat a player. He's great first touch and control. I just think he's a slight bit off. And if he just steps it up 1 or 2%, he'll be magic first before the end of the season, you know. And you can see why Klopp is. Yeah, you can see why Klopp is sticking with him, Dave, because he's doing everything right. His work rate.
I'd start them. If Salah's fit, he plays every game. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. I mean, Salah's one of those players who's never injured. Touch wood. And I think it's because of the way he plays every game. He doesn't stop and start. He fucking plays.
Did you listen to his interview after the game with Crowd?
Yeah,
I thought it was just like he's so confident, so relaxed, so kind of jovial about his targets and what he's going for, and the fact that he's now the highest assist player in the league over Trent. And
it shows you how much he, at the start of the season, he actually in his
setting
mind.
standards.
It's like when I was a kid playing in the 90s, playing like in the bleeding, amateur league, you'd be thinking, well, I get 25 or 26 goals this season. That's exactly the way he goes.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. But I think he's just so relaxed in himself and so confident. Delighted, obviously, to be in a final and to be doing so well. But I just thought he spoke really well, and he just needs to click in, and he could be a massive player for us now between now and the 28th.
Well, he already has been. A massive player. I think he's actually. I really do think he's pushed us to where we are right now. I really do. I mean, obviously, Villarreal, he changed it for us. We mightn't have got to the final. That type of thing.
Do you think he's been our best player this season?
He's brilliant.
Do you think he's been our best player this season? Yeah,
100%.
Yes.
No,
I think there's a few standouts, lads. I think Fabinho's been unbelievable. I think Alisson's had one of his best seasons.
Alisson for me, I would call Alisson now.
Unbelievable. I mean, Mane stepped up, getting the goals, holding up the ball a lot better. Diaz, as we know. I mean, Jota's chipped in as well. I know he's gone a bit dry at the moment, but I think Jota's actually better as an impact sub.
Yeah.
He's been quite disappointing in recent weeks. I don't know, but it's a beauty that we've got players that it wouldn't surprise me if Jota just popped up. But
Jota could score the winner of the Champions League final. He's that type of player, isn't he?
Him or Divock Origi or Bobby or Robbo, we'll take another left back. 1-0 goal like in 81, so we'll take that.
I'll tell you what, guys, for the last 10 minutes, she'll have a chat about the big game. Saturday night, it was 7:45 kickoff. It's an unusual kickoff Saturday night. It's Liverpool against Spursy Tottenham. What do you think it is, guys? Do you know the one player I worry about for Spurs? And that's Son. It's not even Kane. It's Son and his pace. I think if we deal with Son, we win the game. I think it's a huge game, obviously, because we can add extra pressure to the pressure that's already been added on. City been knocked out because they play Newcastle. I know they're at home, but still, it's a nervy game. If we can get 3 points Saturday, I'll give you what team I think we'll go. I think we have to go strong. I don't think we've any choice. What do you think, guys, Saturday?
Yeah, I'm made up, mate. I think all of us, we love Son. I think we spoke about last week on your show, mate, that he's about 29, 30, whatever, but he's still got, I'll tell you, if you were City, you'd probably go in for Son, but it wouldn't surprise me to go and sign him in the summer after this season. But if you're in an elite level team, you're looking at Son. I know he's 29, but he's still got so much to offer. You could easily get 130, 140 million, but it wouldn't be easy to get him out of Spurs. But as you said there, mate, we just got to keep an eye on Kane, keep an eye on Son, obviously Kulusevski as well down the right. But City, we create so many chances. I think I remember watching that City game where they got beat by Tottenham at home, which was a great result for us.
That was a great game as well.
Yeah, but City, like last night, they just, for some reason within games, they switch off for certain moments in games, and you're like, what are you doing? Liverpool don't do that. Like, yeah, we might offer the odd opportunity.
We switched off for the two Villarreal games, like goals. I can tell you fucking that much.
Yeah, no, but they're a better outfit than this Tottenham team, mate. Villarreal, which I know they're 7th in La Liga, but you've got a better manager. I know Conte, he'll be gone at the end of the season. Still a very good coach, but I think we've got enough going in. And I think this could be similar to the United game a couple of years ago when we won the league. Salah runs off, whips off his kit, but this could be the moment where the pressure cooker is full on, as we've already spoken about the Champions League. The pressure could go on all City. And you never know. I just see Stevie G on the halfway line, City on a counter-attack, Cancelo down the left, puts out his foot or rugby tackles him, gets sent off in the stands in the 92nd minute. I tell you, Stevie would get a 5-match ban if that was the case.
Who's the referee for Saturday, Jack? Do you know who the referee is?
I'll have a look, mate. Yeah.
Tierney, is it?
Probably usual. Yeah.
I thought it was Tierney now. Could be wrong. Yeah. But Ivan, what do you think? So Saturday, I mean, it's a must-win every game. You must win the last 6 games to have any chance of winning the quadruple, of course. But
definitely must win.
I know we could actually draw. We could actually draw the 2 cups and win them on penalties, so you don't technically have to win them. But we definitely have to win the last 4 league games.
Definitely. The only worry I have is as you said, it's on. And if you look at the goals that Jack is talking about there against City, they're the kind of chances we would concede. They were ones where City had pushed up to the halfway line and Son's pace got in behind them. He's electric. He's absolutely electric. So he would be my concern. But I still think going forward, and the fact that we're at home and it's an evening kickoff, the ground will be rocking. I still tip us to beat them and beat them fairly easily. I would have thought we'll give up chances, I think, but as we always do. But I think we'll beat them easily.
Under the lights as well, Liverpool fans will be. We just have to get into a Champions League, and the following week we've an FA Cup final.
Not too bad, is it?
Following the red, you'd be fucking skint. If you lived over in Liverpool and tried to go to like London and then go to Paris and fucking hell.
Was it that quote? I don't know who said it, but someone said on Twitter it was going around the place.
Skint.
Oh, don't know. Yeah, you'd be skin single and homeless after this season. You'd be able to throw your out your wife or whatnot. You'd be living on your mate's sofa, but it'd be all worth it, especially if we win everything. I've just seen on the referees, boys. Take a guess. Yeah, who do you reckon the referee is?
I think it's Tierney.
It's Michael Oliver, which isn't too bad. Oliver's
please, sir, can I have some more?
He is the best of the bad bunch, and he is the best.
Yeah, he's decent. He's decent, yeah.
Did we have
Tierney on the VAR?
The assistant to
Tierney's name somewhere.
Yeah, assistant to Stuart Bates, Simon Bennett, and fourth official Martin Atkinson. His kids are Tranmere supporters. Wow. And VAR is down in England. And Mark Perry. So there's no Atkinson in sight.
That's good news for Liverpool. Look, guys, we just got to go out there, win the game. See, we have, the other good thing, we've had so many games. I think it's 63. We will have played in every single possible game. That's the first time anybody's ever done that, by the way. So even that's, I mean, if you were Arsenal or Spurs or even United, you'd be taking that as a trophy. The all-time players, games you can, that's a trophy, It isn't to me, but to them it would be. So, for me, we haven't had time to even think. I mean, he hasn't even got probably time to think about Real Madrid. Last night, Real Madrid, I'm sure Klopp watched the game. I think he did. It's Spurs from today, Spurs. And from Spurs, it's Villa. Villa, FA Cup final, Chelsea. Yeah. Chelsea, Southampton away. Wolves away. Possible league game, last game of the season to win the league. Then a week, 5-6 day rest. Paris, Real Madrid. It's fucking crazy shit.
I was saying there last week that it's like Carragher was saying it's so like 2001 where they're playing a league game one week, Carabao Cup the next, FA Cup the next, then into they're mixing up. It must be really fresh for them that we're different competitions, different expectations, finals. They must be, however tired or sore or whatever they are, they must be just absolutely buzzing, chomping at the bit to get to the next game,
when you're winning, you're confident. Exactly. I don't even think you feel tired. I think that's the famous saying, isn't it? When you're winning, it's when you're losing and you're going into not another fucking game, that type of way.
Absolutely.
And it's slashing rain,
Yeah.
So guys, what team would you go with Saturday? Would you go? You have to go strong to beat Spurs. I think Spurs are decent. I mean, would you go? I think he goes strong. He has to. I think Alisson goes in goal. I think Matip has to be there with Van Dijk. I really do.
Yeah. 100%.
I think Trent, Robbo. I can't see Tsimikas coming in. I see possibly Naby back in the midfield to give Thiago or maybe Hendo. Hendo seems to be the one that's having the rest at the moment and coming on with 20 to calm people down with Fabinho, Thiago, Naby. And I think he goes Salah, Mane, Diaz. I just can't see why you wouldn't start them. Or would you go maybe have Diaz on the bench again, start Jota?
I don't know what he's going to do. Yeah, you can't leave Diaz out, I don't think, now. I could see the rationale for leaving him out when you're 2 up against Villarreal, absolutely. But we need to be going out to get in front of Spurs quickly and go for it. I love how he's using Henderson at the moment. Mm-hmm. And I'd say he's probably had to have a chat with him to say, I'm using you for these particular skills that you have. We might well go on and win the game and I don't need to use you, but the way it's going, we're struggling in some games to get a foothold or to take control. And Jack, you were talking about control there last week. You bring Henderson on and all of a sudden the energy's there. Mm-hmm. He calms it down. He's happy to get on the ball. He's happy to play it back to the keeper just to take the sting out of the game. He's also great at getting forward when he's playing on the right-hand side and creating chances. So I think he's managing Henderson really, really well. Mm-hmm. Fabinho has to start at 6. I think it was good seeing Curtis the last game or two where he's come on and he
could have scored actually. He had a great chance to score.
Yeah. I thought he played very, very well. So he's an argument for a start. But I think back 4, as you said, Matip in with the boys, and just possibly 1 or 2 changes, but he's going strong. We have to make a statement on Saturday.
At the end of the day, there's only 3 weeks left in the season, and he'd probably say, "Listen, lads, just bite the bullet here. We've got to go strong the whole way in." That's the way I'd look at it. And if you can take 2 or 3 players off, 15, 20 to go, that type of way. Is it 5 subs in the FA Cup?
I think so.
Or is it still 3? I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Chat, let us know. You'll know, won't you? In the FA Cup.
Because I'm just thinking about that game against Chelsea, what way he could do there. But I think he goes strong, Jack. What are you going for Saturday?
Diaz, as Ivan said there on the left. If you've not watched Spurs, I can't wait for Emerson Royal. How he's Brazilian and he's a right back, I don't know. He is he's one of the worst right backs I've seen in a very long time. I don't even know how he ended up at Barcelona. Must have got ripped off. But they were buying another right back anyway. But yeah, I'd love to see him down the left. I don't know how you feel. I don't know. I think we kind of forgot. Well, I know I did. Forgot to mention Naby in that second half of Villarreal.
Yeah,
I was heavily criticising him in half time. I was like, get him off. But Klopp bared with it. He said, right, Naby, you've got another 20, 30, 25 minutes to prove your worth. And Naby come out and we've seen him much better. Obviously, it was helped by the team performance. But yeah, I'd play Naby for me personally, but he's got to be on it, especially when the counters, and as we've mentioned, the Spurs City game, it was a great example of Spurs' best game that they can do, and probably their game plan coming to Anfield, sitting behind the ball, soaking up a lot of pressure, and then just attacking the spaces where that we've got in. But yeah, I'd start Naby. I'd go for it, but I won't surprise if Hendo come in. Fabinho, as Ivan said, in the 6, and then Thiago on the left. I think we need to play him. Because what's helping is he's not getting called up to the Spanish national team, and that's fantastic for Liverpool. To keeping him fresh, and then bringing in Matip, and then more or less, I'd go with Mane and Salah through the middle, mate. I
think, Jack, when you're saying about going for that, like, I think that was probably the other night where when everybody's playing poorly, and when you look at someone like Van Dijk or Konate, or particularly Fabinho, who wasn't having a great game, that then feeds into the other midfielder. So when Keita is sitting in front of Fabinho, and he's seeing Fabinho's kind of rushing with the ball or not trying to get on the front foot, Naby's kind of going, oh, and he's getting a little bit anxious with it as well. And all of a sudden, where we're usually pushing so far forward, suddenly we're 10 yards further back, and we're choosing to go back when usually we're choosing to go forward. So it does kind of stem from those other players at the back, and it can feed in. Like Naby was transformed in the second half, Jack. I think you're dead right. But I think that's because everybody behind him was that little bit more aggressive and a bit more on the front foot and trying to get forward. So it's kind of 6 and 1, but it all depends on they all depend on each other, I suppose, to an extent.
Yeah.
Vase of Flowers. I love that name, Vase of Flowers. Hopefully you get watered the weekend, baby, if we can beat Spurs. It's so good to have a real squad now. 2018, we had fuck all. Look, 2018, I'm talking about revenge on the cards. There was so much that went wrong in that final. We were never going to fucking win it.
Yeah.
Salah got the injury. Well, injury. Was basically assaulted by Ramos. He was our best player. He was the man. It was people forget, it was 1-1 in that game. Until they got that goal. Karius basically gave them 2 goals, and one of the goals they got, you'll never see probably in 100 fucking years, an overhead kick from 40 yards. So that was one of those games I don't think you're ever going to fucking win, no matter how good or bad you were. So we play well, and we've the proper team, no injuries, we're ready to rock. I think we've a really, really good chance of number 7 on the 28th.
Yeah, Dave.
I hope sorry, Jack, go on.
I was just going to share the screen. I was going to say we'd have a team selection bingo. But I've got the team up and just having a little look at the stats as well. This was the squads in which that did play in that game. Obviously, he's gone. Milner won't be playing the starting.
Well, we'd Lovren beside Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Robbo, Trent, we had that. With Genie, he's gone. Hendo. We had Milner in midfield. I mean, we'd what? Salah. Is that Bobby and Mane up front?
Yeah. So it's very changed. And looking at the stats, Possession-wise, this will be very different now. 66% possession they had in that game in Liverpool. He's registered 2 shots on target, which frankly isn't good enough. I know Real had 15, but we more or less give them the goal and that. But we are a completely different team. Obviously, Varane is gone. Obviously, if it's Alaba or Nacho who plays, both of them centre-halves are gone. Marcelo's gone. Mendy, we played against him last season as well. Still dodgy, still decent, but those midfield 3 probably will be the same. And then obviously he's not playing anymore, and it's no Ronaldo, so it would be Vinny and obviously Rodrigo. You'd expect to play up front for them as well.
Vinny will be a threat down the left for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
Listen, look, they've got the man in form, Benzema. I know he didn't score last night, but he was involved. That ball across was beautiful. He's not getting any younger. You give him a sniff, he will score. Vinicius up front, he's chaotic. I don't know what he's going to do. He's that good. He's really good. The 2 lads that came on, Rodrigo and Cavenda, I think his name is, the French guy in midfield. But they came on because the likes of Modric and Cruz came off. Remember, they're getting older. They don't have the legs. Yeah. So it's going to be, listen, it's not for 3 weeks. We'll talk about it. It's going to be a big week build up for it, guys. Definitely. And as I said to Jack earlier, if you can't get to Paris, you get to Liverpool, because Liverpool will be the next best place to be if you can't get to Paris. I can guarantee you that. So I'm going to go 2-1 to the Reds on Saturday. I think it'll be a tight game. Mohala to get the goal. He's a great record against Spurs, of course. And Mane in the mirror. Make that change. So 2-1 to the Reds. Jackie boy?
2-0 Liverpool. I think we'll get a goal just before that time, and then we'll try and get Spurs out. But Diaz, I think he'll be another man of the match.
Once we win, it doesn't matter. Ivan?
Yeah, 2-0 for me, and I think Salah's going to get 2 on Saturday.
I really want Salah to get off and get a few goals just to lead up to that Champions League final, to have a few goals in the bag, probably get top goal scorer and all that type of thing. But once we win, points mean prizes. I've been saying it for about 3 years, and it still holds true. Win the game, see what happens. Go again, win the game, see what happens. That's what we've been doing basically since January anyway. Klopp's not going to change it now. Just no injuries this side of 3 weeks, of course. That's the big thing for me. Win the games, no injuries, no matter what. Take the points. And who knows, guys, what can fucking happen. We're living the dream. Enjoy the bloody ride, because this is Liverpool, and this does not happen. It doesn't happen. This might never happen again, to get so late in the season to be still in 4 competitions. It's never happened before. It might never happen again. So enjoy it. We are living the dream. Hit the like, hit the share. It has been emotional and religious at the same time. Ivan Jennings, Jackie boy in the house. Stay safe. Talk to you soon, Reds. Liverpool to beat Spurs on Saturday, and keep the train rolling down the track. Cheers.
Go on, Reds.